Before we get started, if you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let us explain.
Anchor has the tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast straight from your phone or computer.
When hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more.
It is everything you need to make a podcast in one place.
And best of all, Anchor is totally free.
Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Hey, how's it going? It's Link here. And I am once again asking for your financial support. Now you might be asking, when was the first time that he asked for my financial support? Well, before we had a podcast, I was asking people for financial support on the street. So this is my second time asking for financial support. So if you want to support us in the podcast, Searching for MacGuffin, you can always follow us on whatever streaming services or podcast services you listen to us. And then you can also click and donate in the descriptions. Love you.
Welcome to this week's episode of Searching for MacGuffin with your hosts, George,
Dan,
And Link.
and we have a very special guest with us this week, filling out our fourth seat. It's Nick. Why don't you introduce yourself a little bit?
My name is Nick or Nicholas, but just call me Nick. Or I also go by MarioMaxx. That's my Twitch name. That's MarioMaxx with 2 X's, and yeah, I'm a streamer on Twitch, and I know these guys personally, and they're all right,
All right,
Cool,
so
yeah.
friend and family of the show. We thought we'd invite him here today. Well, maybe Link can give us some insight why he's sitting across the table from us.
He was in the house when when we were planning. He's like, hey, let's invite Nick.
Yeah, but I think there's a
Yeah,
specific...
there's a reason why we picked him.
Yeah.
Okay,
There's
so for this week, the topic that we're going to be talking about is Pokemon. And Nick is what you call a Pokemon master.
Okay.
Along
is
with
true.
me and along with our producer, Dan. Dan?
Whatever you want.
Producer?
It's actually Dan hyphen the letter E.
Yeah.
Dan E.
Would you consider yourself a Pokemon master?
Oh, man. I'm like Ash, where I've been on this journey for like about 15 years, but I'm still like...
Oh, no, okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
So you always
I
lose?
He
consider
like just
you-
became a master, right? Like maybe
He
2
just
years
won,
ago or
yeah.
something.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I'm on that journey.
Well, I
Except
consider
you
you.
haven't won.
I'm
I
like
consider
18
you,
years. Yeah, I'm like a step behind Ash.
Mm.
Right.
You're a Pokemon Go master. That's what I think. You
Oh,
are.
that? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We'll
Yeah.
talk about that.
Out of everyone here, the highest level, yeah.
That is true.
That's a pretty
I'm
impressive
still level 30. Was it 35?
He stopped playing.
Shh.
Oh, no one's allowed to know he stopped playing. But yeah, so this week we're having a Pokemon episode, and we invited Nick because he was in the house, and he's obviously very knowledgeable and plays a lot of Pokemon, a lot like me, and is Danny as well, our producer. So that's what we're going to be talking about, Pokemon.
That's right. So today's episode is titled "The Pocket (open parentheses) Monster (close parentheses) Episode." Did I do it? Did I nail it?
That was perfect.
That is
All
such
right.
that's a
Thank you.
amazing, clever
Did you guys
title.
laugh?
I,
We did that for comedic
I laughed
effect.
on the inside.
I was.
Oh, I mean, haha.
So I guess this all starts with red and green in Japan, red and blue.
Yeah,
Here in
Gen
the
1.
States?
Gen
Gen
1
1,
Pokemon.
Yeah, I guess that's how we'll segment this, right? We'll go through the generations and kind of like talk about our journey and our experience along the way. So this game started in 1996, but I know we all weren't around for that when it happened. So what was like your first experience, and was it this game? Did all of you guys start at Gen 1, or did somebody jump in?
I started
Nah.
at Gen 1.
Okay, I
I-
did too as well.
When I first found out about the game, I wanted to start at Gen 1, but they didn't have the Gen 1 games in stock for obvious reasons, so I
Okay.
jumped in later.
You also didn't have a Game Boy, yeah?
Actually, I did, but
Yeah, I mean, he grew up like around, I think there were just Game Boys just
Oh,
like
yeah, you're
littered
right, yeah,
around
yeah,
the
you're
house.
Right, you're right.
It was just like an entire collection.
Game Boy games all around the house.
So what was your first game then, Nick?
it was actually, I guess it's technically like Gen 4. But I started with Pokemon Soul Silver, which is a remake of Gen 2. So I don't know if you want to count that as Gen 2, Gen 4, but
Okay.
yeah.
I counted.
I count it
Gen
as
2.
Gen 2.
That's
Yeah.
Gen
Yeah.
2,
That's
yeah.
Gen 2.
Yeah. So, what was the first time that you played this game? What version of it? Because we're gonna talk about that as we go through. They remake these games a lot. You're gonna see. So, like, what version of it was it that you?
You mean like Soul Silver?
No.
No,
Oh,
Gen-
this
of
going
Gen
back
1.
of
Gen
Gen
1,
1.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, like the first time I played a version of Gen 1?
Yeah. Correct.
Well, I don't know if you count like Soul Silver as Gen 1 because you do technically go to Gen 1, but I guess like
Dang.
an actual one.
There's a fist bump there that you can't see.
Yeah. But I guess like the first actual version, probably Let's Go Pikachu.
What?
What?
Yeah,
That's the
very late, yeah.
Wow. Okay. So we'll get to that much later in today's
That's a
episode.
surprise to me.
Okay. So what about everybody else? How was the first way that you interfaced with this first original Pokemon game?
So I had an old Game Boy Advance,
Mm-hmm.
and my first game was actually Emerald. It was not Gen 1.
Okay.
It was Gen 3. And later on, I bought a copy off eBay. I have no idea if it was real or not, but it was Fire Red.
Okay.
And that was my first
That's a
experience with
thing,
Gen 1.
like bootleg.
Oh,
Pokemon
yeah, that's a
game
big
cartridges?
problem.
That's a big problem, yeah.
Because the real copies are expensive.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And I now realize I think most of my copies were fake.
And what's the
Wait.
like from a practical standpoint? What's the difference? Does it work just as fine or?
I mean, as a kid, I had no idea.
Okay.
I still don't really know.
Just the back of the little plastic thing has a Nintendo
Mm.
like logo.
It's not
Yeah, but-
certified by Nintendo.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
You
But the
won't-
game itself,
It's
I
the
don't-
same game, yeah.
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 Okay. And the battery life, like, do you know if it'll die earlier than?
I'm pretty sure it will because
Okay.
it's not legit.
Yeah.
But I haven't looked into it like that because
Okay.
I mean, now if I'm gonna play it, I emulate. So
Okay. Well, controversial.
yeah, I'm
comment.
sorry. Nintendo.
No, I like emulating.
Yes.
Yeah, but
it's-
that's-
Yeah, we
it's
no one's
beautiful.
no one's arguing with
Yeah,
you.
we
like
don't
it.
like emulate.
Yeah, everyone likes
Yeah.
emulation. The moral quandary of
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
another conversation.
I mean, what are you supposed to do if you can't get the game? You don't have the
That-
Game Boy.
You're supposed to buy the constant
So you're
remakes
no,
and
no. So yeah,
re-releases.
Let's say I want to play Pokemon Yellow. What do you? How am I supposed to play that?
Technically, you're
Oh,
just
supposed to
yeah.
play Let's Go Pikachu.
Yeah, technically, you're
I
just
just want to
supposed
play that
Let's Go.
garbage.
What? Okay.
Whoa.
Whoa.
How dare you?
Okay.
No, man, it's a big problem. Emulation, like, I think it's healthy, but I mean, Nintendo.
I think it's healthier for older games. I know Nintendo does a good job in bringing,
yeah, I think that's
adding them to their like. For example, you can play all the Game Boy games or a lot of them in the DS, and just recently in the Switch, you can play N64 games.
I heard rumors they're bringing Game Boy.
that would be a
That's what
breath
you. That's
of
the,
fresh air.
that's the only. Unless you want us to emulate, do this.
No, that's Nintendo's problem. They
Yeah, we
have
just-
to either you bring it back
Yeah.
or we emulate.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to pay 30, 40, 50, even like 120 just for these copies that might be fake.
And then
Like,
you
I'm
also
not
have to
gonna do
buy an actual
it. Oh, yeah, and
Game
you have to have
Boy.
a Game Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's true too. Yeah.
So emulating is the way to go.
I
Well,
don't
no, we
think
can't
the
say
show.
that.
The
Yeah,
show.
we can't
the,
say
the
that.
views expressed by Link do not reflect those of the show as a whole.
Nintendo, don't come
We-
for us. Don't
yeah.
send your spies.
Oh no, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, Doug Bowser.
Yeah, we can't say that.
All right. So Link, what was your first experience with?
Yeah, so Pokemon Yellow for me on the Game Boy Color was my first video game ever.
Oh, okay.
So that is my first experience with Pokemon and pretty much video games.
What was that like? What was?
It was beautiful. I loved it. Because at the time I was watching the anime.
Mm-hmm.
So growing up watching anime after school, and then this game comes out, I was like, all right, I already know the Pokemons, I already know the characters because of the anime. It was an easy transition for me to play.
Yeah. How important was the anime for you guys?
Oh,
for
Girl-
me,
For
not a
me, it
lot.
was really important.
Very important,
because,
yeah.
Like before, like I heard of Pokemon. Like for some reason, I didn't like Pokemon, and I don't know why. I was just a kid. And I was being weird. But then my aunt was like, "Hey, you want to watch the Pokemon anime?" Like, yeah, I'm like, eh. But then she forced me anyway. But you know what? That was like the best decision, ever. Because now I actually got into Pokemon that way. Now I'm addicted.
So the show
Forever.
brought you to the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was the whole point of the show, so it worked.
Yeah,
I mean, it's first a manga show, and then it became a video game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I know, especially at that time growing up, like you didn't really have access to the manga here stateside.
No, true.
Like, so it was like a cartoon on TV.
Yeah.
Boom. You've got me. And I mean, there's a long history of that. Transformers, G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
He-Man, like just basically shows that are meant to sell toys. And I think that hooked like a whole generation. I got I believe I got blue. My brother got red. This was the first time we ever bought 2 games, because that's when we learned. We got one, I think, for a Christmas or a birthday, and then we quickly realized you cannot share this game.
You cannot share the game.
Yeah, and I think this, up to this point, was the first time we've ever experienced this. You know, that you cannot share the game. There's only one save file allowed, which is, man, I really hope there was some kind of technical limitation. I've never looked into it, but it really just seems like they were criminally making us just buy this game over and over again. So we got different versions, and you kind of were motivated to because of the exclusive Pokemon, you know, and there was a lot less trading. There was no internet. It had to be in person. So like I 100%ed this game, like 110%ed it. Like I got like every glitch that's in the game, like missing number and all this crazy stuff that's not even supposed to be part of the game. And then I did it again, and then I did it again in like yellow. You know, so I bought this first game 3 times, and then I like was just burnt out. So I'm actually gonna take like a back seat here, because I actually tap out of the Pokemon franchise for a while, because I had played this exact same game basically so many times to a full completion that like I wasn't ready for Gen 2. Any final thoughts on like that first Gen 1 game? I don't know if we're gonna talk about the remakes now or if we should.
No, I think the remakes will come through the timeline, because
Okay.
a lot changes.
Okay. So, and it's funny because we look at what these games look like now, but they were like just little 8-bit, you know, graphics, you know, but it was so addictive, this collecting aspect. And I think it's something that kind of like would shape my personality moving forward. Like that gotta catch 'em all like line really resonates.
Same.
Yeah. And it moves into Gen 2. Gen 2 was what?
Silver and gold and crystal.
And crystal.
And Crystal.
Okay, so explain this for our audience that may not know the difference between these generations. We talked about red, blue, and green being and yellow, the first version of the game, different colors, different Pokemon in it, but the same game for the most part. What was this generation? How would you explain gold and silver and whatever crystal is? Because I don't even know myself, to be honest.
It's basically Pokemon with new Pokemons and a new story, but you're essentially doing the same thing. You're trying to capture all the Pokemon. You're trying to become a Pokemon master by defeating all the 8 gyms and defeating the Elite Four and all that stuff, and defeating whichever team is evil. I believe it's still like a remnant of Team Rocket that's evil in Gen 2, and that's what it is. That's pretty much the basic premise of every Pokemon game.
And that formula carries out
Forever.
until what we're at now, which
Yeah.
is Gen 8.
So this is a brand new map?
Brand new
Yes.
map all the
Yup.
time, brand new Pokemon. Sometimes they add new things, which is cool.
Yeah, new
As technology progressed, they added more things. But you would expect people to get tired of the same thing over and over again. But here I am giving them $60 every
Yeah.
every year or 2 years.
I feel like they come out with one every year.
It's supposed to
used
be
to
every.
be
It's
every
supposed to be
2,
every
right?
year. Yeah.
Are you sure?
I mean,
Yeah.
Let's Go came out, then Sword and Shield came out.
Oh, but I don't
I don't
count
know
the
if we got
remakes.
one last. Oh, okay.
Well-
But you're still buying them though.
Oh, yeah, that's
you
true.
are
That's
giving
fair,
them your
that's fair,
$60 every year.
Doesn't the DLC count as like a game, like for last year?
Well,
I
mean,
wouldn't.
they-
I didn't play that. That's
Yeah.
one thing
I didn't
did.
buy it either. No.
Yeah, none of us. Okay, so we're here 4 Pokemon players. We had Sword and Shield. No one at this table.
Well,
bought
I have
the
a big
DLC.
problem with that game.
I
which I'm
remember.
gonna
I
go
remember like,
about
oh yes,
later.
I thought it was
DLC.
cool,
Let's
yeah.
go. And I never bought it.
Yeah.
Like my hype faded out. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I think DLCs are harder to sell than a full game.
Absolutely.
That is true.
Yeah. You think about it more because it's like you got to go to the e-store, you got to purchase it. You have time to think about it more. There's less hype behind it.
It's not a brand new shiny new toy.
Exactly.
It's just
An appendage.
yeah.
I was like, we came up with a new arm for your He-Man.
Yeah, so Gen 2 comes out. Gold, Silver, and Crystal.
Yeah.
New Pokemons. You start off with Chikorita, Totodile, Cyndaquil as your
Cyndaquil.
starters. Which one did you guys pick when you guys played this game?
I picked Cyndaquil.
Cyndaquil? Okay.
Totodile.
Totodile?
How dare you?
I first started off with Totodile because I thought Totodile in the anime was adorable and hilarious.
For alligator, sick.
And for alligator is pretty sick. I never picked Chikorita.
No one should.
And
No.
I think Chikorita's like the lesser of like the others. Yeah, I think it's like the
All right,
most,
then I'm
like,
gonna lie and say I picked Chikorita.
how dare you?
Shame
how could
on
you?
you.
So in every Pokemon game, they give you 3 Pokemon to pick.
Mhm,
Those
starters.
are called starters. You either have a water Pokemon, a fire Pokemon, or a grass Pokemon.
It's always those 3, right?
Always those 3. In Gen 1, I think the most, and these are probably the most popular ones, you have Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur, along with Pikachu. We'll get eventually later on.
You can start with him in yellow, right?
And yellow,
Yeah.
yellow Pikachu is your Pokemon, which is more true to the anime than
Mhm.
blue and red and green.
That's the only main game that I believe you don't start with a fire, water, or
Yeah.
or
And
grass.
you don't get to pick one also, because like in Let's Go, when they redid it, like you get a Pikachu, but also you get to pick a starter, no?
No,
No.
you
No.
find them along the way, like how Ash
Oh.
does in the anime.
Oh, okay.
That's why I really like Pokemon Yellow.
I mean, that's why I like Let's Go.
That's why I love Let's Go.
No, Let's Go
because
is-
it feels like a true remake
Does
of
it,
Yellow.
Yeah.
doesn't feel like a half-baked remake to me.
Okay.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about the Pokemons we picked our starters
Controversy to
in
come.
Gen 2. We forgot to ask in Gen 1. What Pokemons did you guys pick?
Yeah, what were you?
Well, I mean, I didn't play Gen 1, but I would definitely pick Squirtle.
Squirtle Squad? Okay.
Yeah.
Squirtle.
I'm a Charmander. 'Cause I love Charizard.
Basic.
I picked Bulbasaur.
I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, okay.
There's an off-camera,
clap up.
clap up happening.
Yeah, I picked Bulbasaur. And
He's a good pick for the first 4 gyms.
I think
Yeah.
is Bulbasaur the only first
Dual
the
type?
base? Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just like a dual type. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
I think
he's
so.
grass and poison.
Yeah.
you don't want to know why I picked it? Because I knew that it was green in Japan, and I was like, I'm gonna be edgy. I'm gonna pick because we have blue and red. I was like, I'm gonna pick the green starter.
I think Bulbasaur's like the best one to pick like early game too, because like the first 2 gyms are weak to grass, right?
Yeah.
He carries
Yeah.
you through well.
Yeah. Well,
Until after you beat Lieutenant Sarge.
I mean,
By then, you
I
have
mean,
a
like
team,
the
though.
4th gym is also grass.
Yeah.
But Bulbasaur's poison, which
Poison,
is
yeah.
super
Yeah.
effective against grass.
And then the 5th one is poison, right?
Poison or psychic? I'm not sure. Like the order in that one.
I think it's poison, psychic, and then fire.
so for our listeners who don't have any clue what they're talking about, neither do I. In a sense, I have an idea, but I'm gonna admit here, I've just bumbled my way through every Pokemon game that I've played because I just do not have time to like memorize all the counters and so I'll just like lose a battle and I'll be like, all right, let me try something else. Like, because I have a basic idea, so I know which way to go, and when I fail, I just like pull out someone else. I'm a big collector. That's what I'm all about,
Yeah.
getting everything. So I power everything up, and I have a diversity of moves. I don't know what any of them do, but I have enough tools at my disposal that I can just keep throwing different things until it works.
Mm.
So it's like super casual. Like, I know I won, and I don't know why. Moving on.
So yeah, so Pokemon, each Pokemon, it has a type. And each type has a weakness, and it has something that it's strong against. So depending on which Pokemon you have and their type, you work around that to pick the best team to fight other Pokemon types. And
Yeah,
their
you want to
weaknesses.
cover your bases.
You want to
Yeah.
cover yeah, pretty much. And every gym that you battle in Pokemon has a specific type of Pokemon that they use.
Yeah.
So that's why when we were talking about how the reason why Bulbasaur is the best one is because for the first 5 gyms, these types of gyms are weak against grass Pokemon.
Yeah.
And poison.
And I think I had a better handle on that in Gen 1 because it was basically like rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
But it gets so complicated.
Yeah,
over
Because
the
they add
last-
more
out of
types.
hand.
They add more types.
so many
yeah.
types that's where it's like coming back to it as an adult.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, what? Rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much, yeah.
You know the reason why I picked Charmander is because of that episode in the anime where he's about to die. Like his trainer leaves him out there in the forest and it's raining and his little flame in his tail is about to die.
And
like
one of the
burn
saddest
out.
moments in television history.
It really is.
Next to Bye Bye Butterfree.
Oh,
Oof. You know what?
emotions.
Either
I had a Butterfree just because of that episode.
either Ash is a bro or Butterfree does not respect the bro code. Because he picked
Ash
a
is a
woman.
bro.
He
but
picked a
Butterfree
woman.
isn't.
Yeah, he picked a woman over Ash.
I can't believe
You're
it.
aware that they're animals, right? Like, they don't have reason and logic. Like,
Nah, man.
They're Pokemon. They're Pokemon.
mating is like their
Nah, man.
central.
Nah, bro. He picked a
Instinct.
a pink.
Well, okay,
'Cause
okay,
Pikachu's
like
a
a pink
bro.
Butterfree that doesn't even exist like in the actual games. Like I would go for that if I was a Butterfree. I don't know.
It's not like
Yeah.
an albino Butterfree.
You guys will understand when you're married. It's fine.
I will never pick a woman over you guys.
Okay.
You guys are where it's at.
Mark this episode
Yeah, I'm
when
gonna,
Link,
I'm gonna save that clip.
the one where Link exits the show. Okay, so what made this Gen 2 like different than the one I played?
So Gen 2 is fun because it's a lot bigger than Gen 1 in the sense that
Mhm.
you have your own region and you beat it, but right after that you go back to the old region
Yeah.
from Gen 1, the Kanto, and you're able to beat the Elite Four there and then go beat the gym leaders from Gen 1, which is very fun. And they only do it for this one. They don't do it
Yeah,
for other ones.
I feel like Gen 2 is the most true sequel
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it really feels like, oh, I'm going further, but now I still have access to what I did in Gen 1.
Yeah.
it feels like free DLC. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
actually,
You're literally getting 2 games for the price of one.
No, you really are.
like nowadays they'd be like, "Hey, we're bringing back Gen 1 for
Yeah.
$30."
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely, it would
know
cost
what?
extra.
Yeah.
I actually wouldn't mind that. If they
Me
do it a
neither.
year later.
Get
Instead
ready.
of adding-
That'll be when they redo. What is this, Gold and Silver?
Oh. Let's go Togepi. I don't know.
Let's go, Toby.
But after you're done with Gen 1, 2, you move on to Gen 3.
Well, there was actually a rumor that they were gonna make a Let's Go style remake
Of Gen 2?
Yeah, of Gen 2.
Oh.
It was gonna be called Let's Go Pichu and Let's Go Azuro.
That Azuro, I don't think will be as
Uh,
marketable as.
I think Togepi, Pichu and Togepi sounds better.
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean-
P2 and Togepi make
Again,
a
that
lot
was a
more sense.
rumor. I don't know.
Man, I would get that. Game
I would
in a
get it
heartbeat.
too because I
No.
love the Let's. Do you not like the
I
Let's
do
Go?
not like the
No,
Let's
okay,
Go.
we'll get to
Yeah,
that.
we'll get to that.
Again, controversy.
The
on
controversy
horizon.
comes
I'm
later
tensing
on.
up right now when he's talking about this.
But you like Sword and Shield?
Yeah.
But you didn't like Let's Go?
No.
Oh, we're gonna have a problem.
Also, Gen 2 is I think the generation they introduced shinies to.
Oh, yes.
right.
Shinies.
Yes, if
Right.
you don't
Are
know what
very
shiny
important.
Pokemons are, the best way to describe them is like when you see an albino an albino animal,
Okay.
that's literally a shiny Pokemon.
Yeah, and the odds are 1 in 8,096, right? For the earlier gens?
Yes,
Yes.
I believe
Which
so.
is insane. You
But like, I think Gen 2 is also like the only generation where if you actually get like a shiny Pokemon, it's actually like it actually like improves the stats too.
Oh yeah,
the later
right.
games,
So
it was
you
just-
don't, you can't get
yeah, no.
a terrible shiny Pokemon like
Yeah.
that. So then we move on to Gen 3. We go to the Sinnoh region, and the 3 starters there are Mudkip, Torchic, and
And
And,
And blank faces.
Torchic and
Mudkip,
Trico.
Torchic, Trico. Wait,
Trico, yeah.
Yes.
Trico.
Who do you guys pick in this one?
I'm a Torchic boy.
wait. You said Sinnoh. It's Hoenn, right?
Hoenn, I'm so
it's
sorry.
Hoenn.
Sinnoh
Yeah,
is a
it's
4th.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're bad. My bad. Hoenn. Gen 2 is Johto.
Yeah.
But yes, Gen 3, who do you pick?
Torchic.
Torchic? Okay.
So I played the remake after before I played the actual like
What's the name of
Emerald,
the remake?
Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire. I played Alpha Sapphire. I actually played Emerald on an emulator. After the
Controversial,
game, so
apparently.
I'll say what I picked in Emerald, which
Oh, they-
was a Torchic.
Nintendo's gonna
nice.
come and just take you out at night.
Okay.
You ready for that?
So what did he say?
He said Torchic.
Yeah,
Torchic.
Torchic.
I always pick Mudkip. I think Mudkip is adorable, and I love the fact that he's water and ground.
I think he's the best rounded.
Yeah,
what
starter.
What is a Mudkip?
Pokemon.
Yeah,
the water one.
Okay, yeah, I got
But
that.
like what?
Do you
What does
like
it look like?
Mudkips?
I'll show you right
I don't know why I can't.
now. It's basically an axolotl.
I picked the gecko.
Is
one,
it?
but-
Yeah,
Trico?
it's an
That's cool.
axolotl.
At first, I picked Trico
Huh.
because I thought he was the cutest one, but then when I saw what he evolved, like the last one, which is like a lizard.
Whoa, you don't think what's Sceptile?
Yeah.
You don't think Sceptile is good?
No,
Oh,
I
that's
just
cool.
I don't like lizards. I don't like reptiles. So I'm like, oh, I don't like this. This reminds me of iguana.
Nah.
Delete the
Well,
game.
he looks
Start all
awesome.
over
What?
again.
I just hate Sceptile for some reason. It's like
Why?
he's just my least favorite
There's
starter
a
in any
Sceptile.
game.
Oh yeah,
Slander
I'm
here.
sorry guys. I just remember I had all the starters because we had 2 games. So I would start the
You
game,
did
trade
the
away
reset.
my starter,
Yeah.
and then reboot and trade away. So like I started.
You're a
with,
cheater.
yeah. Well,
Not cheating.
it took. I still do that like today when
No, I
there's
know.
stuff like that. It takes a lot of time to cheat.
Yeah, it really does.
I remember when I was in
I did that with Sword and Shield. I did that.
when I was in 5th grade. I got Pokemon Ruby. My sister bought it for me. It was used from GameStop, but she bought it for me, and I loved it. And I wanted to trade. Actually, no, this was Fire Red. I'm sorry. Same story. We used. My sister bought it for me again. She bought me 2 Pokemons in a row, and it was I wanted to get all 3 Pokemons, right? All 3 starters.
Mm-hmm.
So I did what George did, where you trade them away, right? But it takes a while. It takes a while to do.
Yeah, you gotta do like the first like half hour of the game.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like an hour and a half just trying to get all 3 Pokemons. And I took my Game Boy to school because a friend of mine had Leaf Green, and we were going to do that. So 5th grade, I'm there. Our teacher does not let us play video games when we're in class. She would.
I know, how dare she?
She would take, or not even in class. Cause you can
Shame
play
on her.
No, because you could probably play it like in recess or lunch, but she wouldn't even let us. Like
Mm.
they would confiscate the Game Boy, and I didn't want to get my Game Boy confiscated. So I remember after school, I went to the front of the school, and I guess my teacher let us out like 20 minutes early for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to the front of the school, and I'm there with my friend playing, and the principal drives by in his car, and he goes, "Young men, what are you guys doing there?" And I just saw his face and how mad he looked, and I was like, "Oh my goodness." I wasn't even worried about getting expelled or suspended. Like, they're gonna take my Game Boy and my brand new Pokemon game.
Yeah, I'm old enough to remember like handheld devices just being banned at school.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
were.
man.
And I was like, "Oh my goodness, I'm gonna get in trouble now. I'm gonna lose this. I don't know what I'm gonna do." And then the principal goes, "There is no one here who's taking care of you. Go to my office and play there." And I thought, "Oh, okay. Am I getting in trouble?" So I go to his office and I'm there, and then he comes in and he tells us, me and my friend, that we always have to be supervised. So he would prefer that we play here in his office instead of being out in the front by
Super
ourselves.
nice guy.
So
Yeah.
he let us, he said that, walked away, and he let us play. He let us finish the trading in his office. And I thought, man, Mr. Scott, you are the best.
Like, I was really
Shout out,
waiting
Mr.
for the
Scott.
part where he was like, "Hey, you want to trade?"
That would have
we
been.
weren't there
yeah,
yet.
yeah.
We weren't there yet. But so my favorite part is where he's like, "You have to be supervised. Here, come play in my office. Goodbye."
Because his secretary was there, but but yeah, I remember. It's just, oh my god, I was so happy and so scared that I was gonna lose my Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, as a child, as a student, I remember being persecuted for my video game habits. So
Oh,
like
yeah.
Link likes to say, you could have been born any time in the world, but if you're in school now, good for you.
Good for you, yeah.
Because you have those experiences, like your teachers trading with you or whatever. We weren't even allowed to show that we had
Yeah.
a game on us.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's my story with Gen 3. We move on to
Yeah, we move on to Gen
Gen 4.
4.
Sinnoh region.
Yeah.
So, interesting fact about the Sinnoh region. It's actually like the only like main like games, like the only generation I never played. Well, until now with the remake, but yeah.
Well, this is what this is Diamond and Pearl.
Diamond
Yes,
Pearl,
Diamond
yes.
Pearl Platinum.
You know what? I missed this one too.
You missed this one?
Yeah, I never.
Yeah, what system was this on?
This is
The
this
DS.
this was the first
This
one
was
for
the
the
first
DS.
DS one.
Yeah. So I was excited for it. And I remember I got Pearl because I liked Palkia. And the Pokemon I picked was Piplup.
Good choice.
Do you guys remember which starter you
What are
picked?
the starters here?
Well,
Piplup.
Chimchar,
Chimchar
and
and-
Turtwig.
Turtwig, yeah. I mean, I'm shiny hunting Piplup right now in the remake.
Yes, because
Well,
the current Pokemon
Guess who got
game,
their shiny Piplup
Yeah,
in
yeah,
109?
I saw the clip.
we
I
saw your
the clip.
stream.
I'm on like 700 resets, but I saw the clip.
The latest Pokemon game out is Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shiny Pearl. It's a remake of Pokemon 4,
Yeah, I haven't
Gen
played it.
4. And yeah, I'm playing it now. I always tend to get water Pokemon as my starter, but for this remake I chose Chimchar, a fire one, and I named him Paul Rudd.
That makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out
Yeah, me
how it
too.
makes sense.
I was trying to
I-
put it
I
together.
think,
but
Like it's not
And-
an ant or anything.
No.
Yeah.
It's a monkey.
I just think anything that has to do with like Link and Paul Rudd is automatically.
It just
Oh,
makes
it
sense.
just
makes sense.
Yeah.
It was
Um,
like, oh, I had a daughter. I named her Paul
Paul
Rudd.
Rudd, yeah.
That's what's gonna happen. Pauletta Rudd.
I hope
So,
you
yeah.
have a son. I really hope you have a son.
So so who played this one then?
Nah, this
Well,
one, this
I
one-
only played the remake. Not even done with that one.
I'm shiny hunting. the
Okay,
remake,
so
I
what's
haven't
going
even-
on here then? That this generation, like out of the four of us, only
Link
one
played?
of us. Yeah, only Link played. Why is that?
That's iconic.
I'm not
Maybe
sure.
because I'm a lot older than you guys.
Well,
Yeah, definitely. You're a lot older.
Yeah.
Than
I
me.
heard that like when Diamond and Pearl first came out, they were like really like bad. That's what I heard.
Really?
Platinum was like way better, but I heard like those two like I don't know.
Okay, well, what do they say about them?
I'm not really remember. I think maybe it was like the pacing or the story. I'm not sure. Something about that. That's
So
all
they
I
didn't live
remember.
up to the expectations.
Yeah, but I think
At the time.
Platinum like improved on those way better. That's what at least I heard.
I think my problem was I had to go back to play these.
Mhm.
So I went back, I played Emerald, I went back, I played Fire Red, I went back, I played Heart Gold, Soul Silver. By then I was a little burnt out, like
Oh, okay, right.
because like
Imagine
I had played
me.
those
I went
to
back
to
and played the first game 5 times.
Yeah, exactly. So I understand that, and I was already burnt out. So I even missed the next gen after this one.
Okay. So what is the next gen?
Gen
Gen
5
5.
is black and white.
Black and white, which is apparently the best. I
Which is a
cannot
good-
confirm.
yes.
Uh-huh.
And this is a Unova region.
Yeah,
yes.
Nova.
And the starters here. This is where
This is where
the
starters get
this
The
is where, like,
starters
okay,
are like.
I
try-
don't-
This is where I. After Gen
What?
5 on, I'm like, I don't even remember
Yeah.
Pokemon's names.
One's
Yeah.
a wrestling pig.
Yeah,
One's
Tay
a
Pig.
One's a
Savai. No,
s-
that's no.
Tay
wait,
Pig,
it starts with an S.
not Piplup. It's
There's a samurai otter.
Oshawott.
Oshawott. Yeah, he's pretty cool. That's
He's
the one
cool.
I.
Yeah,
picked.
that's the one I
Yeah.
picked too. And then
And
there's
then there's.
there's a snack.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
Snivy.
yeah, it's Snivy.
Yeah, Snivy. Which honestly, I think
Randy
Snivy's pretty cool too. I think
Yeah.
evolution. Is
So
great.
which one did you guys pick?
I picked Oshawott.
Oshawott.
I
picked
would have
Oshawott.
gone.
I would have
Oshawott.
picked Oshawott. Yeah.
Like I said, I don't like snakes, so Snivy was out of the picture immediately.
But yeah, you can see that there's already a disconnect here
Mhm.
that the other gens don't have.
It's like Snivy's like, what? We had Trico already, right? Like,
Yeah, like
Yeah.
we're in the reptile
Yeah.
section. Yeah.
I think now
me
we're
some-
in the point where we're kind of feel like we're recycling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a saturation point because I remember when I was a kid, the show, the first game, Jen, memorize all of them, know them all, learn
Yeah.
the poker rap.
I
like,
did
know
all
150
that. Yeah,
of them,
I did
right?
all that.
And then Gen 2, okay, I'm familiar with them.
now
I can
there's 100
identify
more.
them, right?
Yeah,
Then Gen 3, and
another
as
100.
and that happens now because I'm really into Pokemon Go still. I know a lot of not a lot, but many people have dropped off. There's still tons of people playing, but even then, I'm still playing the game. But as the gens go deeper, I care less about learning who they are. Like there's something on a checklist, and I'm like, I got them. I don't think about them. I don't name them. Someone asks me, hey, what's this? I don't know. Who cares?
The connection is gone.
Yeah.
Really. Like I
Yeah.
think at this point we've come. I think at this point there was 400.
Yeah.
We were in the 400s,
Mhm.
and like
Would you say there's a lack of innovation in the series?
There is a lack of innovation.
I think Gen 5 gets a lot of lack
Praise?
of,
Or-
no.
Because you
No.
guys were saying it's the
The
best
opposite?
one.
Yeah,
Okay, but it gets a lot of what?
I can't think of the word right now, but it gets a lot of crap for
Okay, that's a
for
word.
lack of innovation.
Right,
In this
okay.
gen. And I think
So-
that carries on to 6.
So why is it considered like one of the best one? Is it like the apex of that
Well,
formula, or
I think
I
with that
think-
one, like they start changing
Visually.
visually.
Yeah.
Yeah, they start
Mm.
changing.
and like
I
I
can see
think
that.
out of like all the Pokemon games, even still, I think like that one's story is like probably the deepest and like just out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the one where you're fighting a giant? Like, not that you fight.
Does that one have aliens and stuff?
It's like
Um,
a 1,000-year-old giant.
And like a
I don't
secret
know.
society of agents?
No,
Or-
that's Gen 6.
Am I just making
Oh,
stuff up? Am I just-
Yeah, this
all
is,
of this is possibly in the game.
I don't know. I never played this one, so I really don't know.
I remember the
I've only
legendary Pokemon.
I've
being
played the
super cool.
second one. That's I haven't played.
Zekrom.
Zekrom
Yeah.
and I don't know.
Oh yeah, those are cool. Yeah.
Okay, and then there's like the second one is it the same gen? Like black and
Yeah,
white
same
too?
gen.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's like a
Gen.
sequel to it.
Yeah, so this is the first time they do like a part
A direct,
2.
yeah.
Is it like it's a different map or
No, same map.
Same,
Same
same,
map?
but there's like different places you go to though that weren't in the first one.
I hear people say that Black and White 2 is better than Black and White 1.
I've heard that too.
So you're supposed to like skip to black and white too? Like
I
Well,
don't know.
Ultra Sun and Moon?
I
Like if
mean-
you're gonna play the game, you might as well play the 2 or the Ultra, or does the game not make sense if you didn't
I
play the
think
first
for black and white, you would just go black and white too.
one? Okay.
But I think for other gens, I would say go back play the old one.
Well, yeah, because those are remakes, but I'm saying
But-
like, well, no, because not even because I would say like you could start with yellow. It's literally the same gate as red and blue, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's more colors, more graphics. because these aren't remakes. These are like direct sequels
Exactly.
within the same gen.
Yeah, so if you don't know, this is what Pokemon does, or Game Freak. What they do is they release a Pokemon game, right? And there's two games. There's two colors. For example,
Two versions.
Yeah, two versions of it. For example, the Gen 1, you get Pokemon Yellow. Blue and Red, right? And then the next year, they release a new version called Yellow. And this new version, the third version, is pretty much Nick, how would you say it? Would you classify it like as pretty much a combination of both?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a combination. But it's also like,
Yeah, it's almost like
different.
a remix.
Like a
though, too.
remix,
Yeah.
of both of them
A remix is a
combined.
good way to
Yeah.
put it.
And this is what they do every 2 years. They release one game, two versions, and then the next year it's like, all right, another color, but that's a combination of both of them.
Yeah.
And then after that, either they release a remake or there's a new Pokemon game.
Yeah, but see, but
New
here they
gen.
start
Yeah,
doing a
this
thing where
time
they're
did a
remaking, they're releasing
sequel.
two. Yeah, it says sequel, but it's like from what I hear, it's a lot like one. Like you said, skip
Yeah.
one and go right to two.
That's what
I mean,
I've heard.
that's what I did. I mean, I never actually played the first Black and White 2. I just played White 2.
Okay, so because it's like if it's like gold and silver, and now it's crystal. Now it's like
Yeah.
white and black, and
And
now
then
it's white
white
and black
too.
too.
Yeah.
You know,
That's the way I saw it.
and they're gonna continue to do that in like the next couple of generations, where now they're releasing two games and then re-releasing a remix of
Of
two
two. Yes.
different games.
Because
Starting
right
to get
after
fast.
this is Gen 6, right?
Yeah.
X and Y.
X and Y.
I think like Gen 1 to 5, I think those games are like really like difficult and challenging. Then when
Yes.
you get to Gen 6,
Oh boy.
It's,
boy.
They start not even because Gen 5 was easy too.
I think
They start pigeonholing you.
Oh yeah.
I think this is my
Pigeonholding,
least
hand
favorite.
holding?
It's my
Hand-
least favorite
whatever it's
gen.
called.
Pigeonholding is like when you like, oh, you can only do this one thing, and like you kind of like typecast.
Yeah, they start holding you.
Yeah,
They-
no,
they-
they hold your hand.
They don't pigeonhole
This
you.
is where the problems start. This is where the
And
problems
this-
start.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is
The game gets too easy now.
The rise and
Um,
fall of Pokemon.
No, seriously.
Wait, but this is
That
Gen
would have been a
6.
good name
Yeah.
for the title too.
Right.
Well, I might have to revisit that.
Really quick, who were your starters for Gen 6?
Hypothetically.
And who were they again? After this I don't
okay. You got
Oh, actually, I played
got
this one. This
Chespin,
one was
Chespin.
grass.
Froakie.
we got
Froakie,
Froakie
yeah.
with the
And,
water and Fennekin.
Fennekin?
Yeah,
even.
fire.
Yeah.
I picked
Froakie.
Chespin, but I think
Froakie's
Froakie's
the
probably better.
So yes, I remember this one was different because like I said I always pick the water Pokemons. But from this series on, I don't pick water Pokemons anymore because I don't like the way they look.
Even Froakie?
I tend to pick the cutest Pokemons. That's my
I think
strategy.
Froakie's the cutest one here.
Nah, man.
Yeah, and then he's the
Chespin,
coolest.
Chespin is the cutest
His
one.
weird
But
hat
then he
thing.
evolves.
And then Chespin evolves into this like super.
he's like a freaking.
Nah, man, Chespin's ugly.
Nah, he's like a badass,
He's like a
bro.
he's like a giant
Yeah,
ninja turtle.
And he has like a shield,
really
like
is.
a shield. You can use that move with the shield. I don't know. So yeah, I love that one.
I mean, but Froakie becomes a ninja.
Yeah, that's cool. That is cool.
That
I
is
think
cool.
that's
Like
the
I
best
said,
design.
there's something about reptiles, amphibians,
Oh,
lizards.
amphibians
Yeah,
now too.
they're-
That's
yeah.
Do
completely-
not like
You're
this.
adding too much.
Yeah.
That's like 20% of
Do
Pokemon.
not like
Also,
Right.
he loves water Pokemon, but not
Right.
reptiles or amphibians. It's like what else lives?
Yeah,
like
what
fish.
else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are they supposed to do?
Magikarp is your favorite.
I love Magikarp.
Oh, as a
Magikarp
side note,
too?
how about that Magikarp game for the phone, guys? What's that?
I have
really
no
enjoyed
idea
it.
what you're talking
well,
about.
I played it because I remember you playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My little
Um,
Magikarp.
I didn't really get far. I thought it was like just too grindy.
I
was-
grinded a lot.
Yeah, it was just a grind, and I 100% of the
I have
game.
no idea what this is.
That it's a game where like you live in a town, and then you go off into other lands too, like to fight in tournaments. But you don't fight. The fights are Magikarp, how high it can jump.
Okay,
I
that
think-
happens in the anime.
Yeah, I
They
think it's
do
called
that in
Magikarp Jump. Is that what it is?
Yeah, Magikarp Jump.
Yeah, and it's just that. So it's like you have to power up your Pokemon to be able to jump.
That's
higher.
interesting.
Yeah,
No, I never.
it
saw
was
that.
weirdly addictive. Like I'm even gonna go out on a limb and say it's not even a good game.
It's
Like,
not a good game.
It's almost.
boring.
It's not even a game.
No,
But
it
it's
sounds
addicting.
horrible.
Yeah, but it's addicting. It was like really bad, and I think I even bought diamonds in that game. I'm not gonna.
He spent money.
Because I was
How
like,
dare you?
because I
He
was
won't
like,
buy DLC, but he'll buy diamonds.
because I
for-
was like, I'm already like 80 hours into this game of Magikarp Jump, and I'm just like a couple of levels away from maxing out, and I can be done with this game if I just buy like a pack of diamonds.
That's great. You needed the satisfaction of finishing.
Yeah, I almost
understand.
never buy in like free to play games
Mm.
anything, but I'm bringing it up because I have to admit that I did.
So back to Gen 6. we start seeing a decline here in Pokemon.
It's
Yeah.
ugly.
It's
Gen
ugly.
6 is ugly.
They start
It's
making
uninspired. It's ugly. It's plain.
Yeah.
it makes
like,
it's
Producer Dan, tell us how you really feel.
it's
Oh, it's gonna get worse from here on out.
leveling up in the game becomes a lot easier.
Oh yeah, because EXP share is
EXP
already
share, yeah,
permanently
exactly.
on.
We don't like that?
No,
no.
no.
that makes the game way
Makes
too
the game
easy.
too easy.
You don't think there's a way to like balance it where you give less XP
No,
and then?
all you have to do is give me the option to not turn
Yeah,
it
Oh,
give
on.
me the
that's a
option.
good point. Too.
Yeah, like-
Yeah, that's yeah.
So for those of you who don't know about Pokemon, is you get a Pokemon, right? You get a group of Pokemon, a party of 6. You know, you get to choose whichever one. Then you go around battling other Pokemon in the wild or trainers who have Pokemon. And every time you defeat a Pokemon, you get experience points. Those points help you level up. The more you level up, the stronger you get. New moves, you're able to evolve your Pokemon to stronger Pokemon. And that's the whole point of the game. The reason why Gen 6 is very easy is because now if one Pokemon beats another Pokemon,
Whole team.
everyone in your team gets experience. So
Yeah.
it's like you don't really have to grind as
Yes.
much as you used to before.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Yeah.
I understand why this is bad, and I accept that premise. But I'm gonna be devil's advocate here and say that, like, as an adult gamer, I really appreciate XP share because at this point, can you like carry access all your Pokemon from wherever?
No.
No,
No, still.
that's still
Okay, so
limited.
that was a problem that I had growing up as a kid, where you can only carry these like 6 Pokemon, and then you have to like go to a box and like take them out.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm here trying to level up everyone, you know? And it's not just grinding in a sense where I have to battle. It's also like I have to spend hours and hours traveling to a bank to take out my Pokemon and like put them back into storage.
A Pokemon Center.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh, I'm sorry, a Pokemon Center. So where's the, like, because there's a place where like there's boxes of that you put them like in storage.
Pokemon Center.
That's the center?
yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's in the same place.
Oh, okay. So I would just, and I had everything because remember I had a living dex. It wasn't just about catching them and then like releasing them. I had everything.
You guys release Pokemons?
I've never
I've
really
never
seen
No,
seen
it.
I don't
okay.
think so.
But my goal was to get all 150 Pokemon to level 100.
And I appreciate that,
Yeah.
and I agree with you, but I should be able to turn it off.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think that's ultimately, we're going to talk about a bunch of changes. I think ultimately like just an option, like on-off menu for like a lot of the stuff that people complain about would be, because I have my own complaints even later on.
This is where I have a big problem with the way Game Freak starts doing their games, because it is so locked up,
Mhm.
restrictive. You cannot play how you want.
Right.
It's funny that you say that because then you love Pokemon Let's Go.
Let's Go is fantastic.
Because
Let's
okay,
Go is
I'll tell you,
good.
because there's a secret to game design, and
Yes.
it is structuring it in like a cohesive, like holistic. Pokemon Let's Go is not pretending to be anything than it is. It's literally a remake of Gen 1 for little kids.
Yeah,
It's a
absolutely.
game that I can play with my niece and just watch her play it, because I think these games also get so complicated and convoluted that like a kid, like a little kid can't like enter like at the ground level. But then now the newer games are like so easy that you know there's no challenge to it for an adult gamer. And Let's Go is not meant with for an adult gamer in mind. Like
Absolutely.
it's completely like it's just breeze through the first game. It's pretty, it's bubbly, and it has like 2 player. You can double team,
Yeah.
like 2 trainers, like mechanics. Like
Just Let's
it's
Go-
meant for you to experience Pokemon,
Yeah.
not like be challenged at Pokemon.
And
It's
that's
just
why I
dumb
hate
fun.
it. And that's why I hate it. I am not a child. This game was not meant for me.
yeah,
That's fine.
yeah, exactly.
That's fine. Then I can understand why you don't like
Yeah.
it.
Right.
But it is beautiful.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
awesome. Yeah, it's
beautiful.
beautiful.
I thought that's the way we were going.
It was like a trip down memory lane
Yes.
for me. It was, listen, it made a game that I was already sick of. I just said it. I played it 3-4 times in my life already. It was brand new to me because I didn't have to stress out. I could just experience. It was like watching an interactive anime or something like that.
But you see, even then, you can still include battling other Pokemons instead of trying to capture them.
Oh, I mean, they were.
Oh.
trying-
That's my biggest
Yeah,
complaint
I
about
think
it.
they were
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
tap into the
They were-
Go
yeah.
They're trying to tap
market.
into Pokemon
I
Go,
do agree with that.
and I
That's the
disagree-
weakest part.
I
That's the
agree with
weakest
that.
part
That's
of
what I
that.
don't like about the
Yeah.
game.
I agree
You're
with
telling me I have to catch. I don't have to. Now I don't have to train. You know, because I'm a grinder. I'm a Pokemon master.
Mhm.
Now I don't have to battle other Pokemons in the wild. And I have to capture them.
See,
it's
but
no fun.
I don't want to do that again for Gen 1.
Yeah,
I've
exactly.
played that
Yeah.
3-4 times.
And,
I even
and
then-
what about me though? I've played it multiple times, and I want that.
Go and play the good one.
Yeah. Go play emulate
Emulate.
Yellow.
Yeah.
So you're saying that this one's bad then?
No,
I'm saying it's a different experience.
Yeah, it's not for you.
I don't want.
But
the
I
exact
want my
same
children,
game.
my niece, to go through the same experience I went to. Maybe at an easier rate,
Yeah.
but do something.
Well, I think the answer to that is Nintendo release Yellow, release.
That's the
We should
problem.
have access to all the versions of it because this
100%.
is a beautiful experience. It's like I watched the new X-Men show with my niece because I know it's gonna be hard to go back and watch the '97 X-Men show. It's old. The animation's not that good. The story, they tell stories in a different way than like these kids grew up having stories told to them. But if they can get through Wolverine and the X-Men, I can show them X-Men '97 now, and they're already all in because they love Wolverine and Storm and Cyclops. That's what Let's Go is.
You start them off with Let's
It's
Go.
a gateway
take
drug.
them back.
That's what it
Absolutely.
is.
100%.
Yeah.
And the overworld encounters are beautiful, shiny.
Yes.
overworld.
Yeah.
Finally, something I wanted as a kid.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah.
And then they took it away.
that doesn't make any
It
sense.
doesn't make any sense.
They don't take it
doesn't.
away.
They take it
Take
away.
it away.
They kind of take it
away.
away.
They
Yeah.
take it away.
They don't.
They take it away.
They take it away. Let's Go, I think, was a step in the right direction.
Where do they take it away?
Did we lose shinies in the overworld?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we lose that.
shinies.
Yeah.
Shinies are different.
But that's huge.
It's huge.
That's
I don't care about shiny
huge.
hunting.
Yeah, but
How
for
dare
people
you.
who do, okay, for example, I agree with you, Link. I don't care about shiny because I can't see them
Because
on
you
the
can't
map.
see 'em.
If I could, I'd run after them.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna just constantly run into the same Venonat like 142 times. If I saw a shiny one,
I would
I'd
run
go
to-
get
No,
it.
yeah, it makes sense.
You know?
One of my first shiny encounters, one of my first real shiny encounters was in that game because I'm just walking through a cave. I see a Slowpoke that's a different color. I'm like,
Yeah.
I would never shiny hunt.
And
Slowpoke.
it's a realistic experience because if
Yeah.
I was out on the safari and I'm like, look at that blue spotted lemur, I'm gonna stop what I'm doing and run after it. I'm not gonna go after every lemur that I see.
Yeah.
Looking for one, you know.
It was a step in the right direction, and then we lost it. I think we skipped a Lola region entirely.
Well, we can back
wait.
up. Yeah.
Can I
Well, we've been dying to talk about this game
Yeah.
throughout the whole thing.
Wait, can
so-
I say something
ahead.
about this Gen 6 real quick before
Yeah.
we close with that?
Mhm.
I remember you gave me, I think, Pokemon Y, was it, right?
You
For-
have to say who you're talking
Um,
to. This is an audio
the-
podcast.
the audience-
Mr. Twitch streamer.
The audience can assume, all right? No, just kidding. JJ, you gave me...
That's not my name on the show, but yes.
I don't know what your
George.
name on the-
Yeah, it's
George.
my legal name. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I used your legal name. All right, interesting. All right, you gave me Pokemon Y.
Mhm.
I played it for like 3 hours.
Uh-huh.
I put down the game, and I didn't go back till a year later.
Wow, and you were already hooked on Pokemon. Like this was deep into your Pokemon.
Yeah, and I was like,
obsession?
this game is just, it is eh. But eventually I did finish it, like, all the way through. And, like, as you said, like, the leveling was too easy. Like, even, like, my HM slave, which HM slaves, you don't know, there's, like,
That's not a wolf
These-
term.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they're gonna change it. By the way,
Yeah.
It's,
Well,
I mean,
like-
that was like slang. That wasn't
Yeah.
like official
oh,
name.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not- okay.
but, like, what it is, like, there's these moves in the game called, like, hidden moves, and you need these hidden moves to, like, progress through obstacles in the game, like,
Can I
to
tell
cut
you how
down
I
trees
dislike
or
this
rock
thing?
Those
smash.
things are so
Yeah.
annoying.
They're
Good thing
horrible.
they get rid of it, like,
Yeah,
the
they
next
fixed it.
gen, right?
Next gen, they get rid of it,
But yeah, the leveling was so easy that my HM slave, by the end of the game, got to level 90 and I haven't even played.
Who was your HM?
Yeah, who was
It
it?
was a Halucha.
Oh man, poor Halucha. I love
Yeah, it was
Halucha.
actually a
So
good.
that was
It's
your-
actually a
that's
good
actually-
Pokemon
that's a
too.
really cool
but I
Pokemon.
made it.
Yeah.
So
You
so
gotta
what I,
use, like,
so if
Bidoof
I
or
understand
something.
this correctly,
Yeah.
it's like you teach all the secret moves to this.
Yeah.
Most
yeah,
of the
bas-
hidden moves,
yeah,
yeah.
because no one wants to like waste a hidden like move because they're
Yeah.
trashy,
Right.
like on like an actual good
Most of them
Pokemon.
tend to be. Yeah.
So it's like Eevee and Pikachu have this in Let's Go, right? But they just have them in addition to their regular moves,
Yeah.
right?
Which
Yeah.
is a
That makes
amazing.
a lot
which
of
is cool,
sense.
which is
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
And they continue that they stay with.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
They keep-
so
Yeah, they-
that's how it works.
After after Gen 6, Gen 7, the Unova region.
Yeah.
That's where they
No,
start.
no, Gen 7 is Alola.
Alola, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Alola.
Wait, what are the name of these games?
Sun and Moon.
This
Sun
is
Sun
and
and
Moon.
Moon.
Sun
Oh,
and Moon.
7. Wow. Already, okay.
And
I
this one
missed this
takes
one,
place
too.
like in Hawaii.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And they definitely fixed the difficulty. It's not as difficult as like
Yeah, they
the other
give you an
games,
option.
but-
They give you an option, right?
Do we? I don't think they. I don't think they do that. But yeah, I feel like it's not as like hard as the past games, but it's not as easy as
Yeah.
like Gen 6. Like it's like
They-
in the middle.
They heard
yeah.
our complaints.
Yeah.
Can I tell you that this is the game that brought me back to Pokemon?
Really?
Yeah.
Mm.
What was happening? This year is it's just 2016. When did the Switch come out?
2017?
17.
2017? Okay. So I didn't get it in 2016. I got my Switch in 2017, right? And at this point, I'm like, what year did Pokemon Go come out? Obviously, I did no research for this episode.
2016.
Was that six? I
I
think
don't
six.
know.
Okay.
2016.
Okay, so in 16, I'm playing Go. And I played Go the day it came out. I was in Santa Monica, which is by the Santa Monica Pier, the most beautiful place to be.
That's the best place to be,
play
like
Pokemon,
in
yeah.
the
That's
whole
where-
world.
That
That's
or
where-
New York.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
where
yeah.
I was when the game dropped, and from that moment on, that's it. I think I'm gonna ride it all the way till it dies. You know, unless they do they've tested my patience. Unless they do something that breaks the game. But so I'm deep into Pokemon again on mobile for like about a year. Then I get a Nintendo Switch. Now I'm back into handheld gaming, because I didn't have a 3DS. I think the last one I had was the DSi.
Yeah.
You know, I never got a 3DS, believe it or not.
3DS sucks.
Yeah.
You're good.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Not a hot take. I don't
Oh,
think.
no, that's not a
No,
hot take.
Not at all.
Really?
Okay.
I mean,
Well, I missed the entire generation. So I went back and bought a secondhand 3DS for like $50, and I got this game because I was waiting. I'm obsessed with Switch. I'm obsessed with Pokemon. We don't have a Pokemon game, and I heard good things about Sun and Moon. I went back and got it. I was blown away by the visuals. Mind you, the last game I played was like blue, red, yellow. You know
That's
what I mean?
a big jump.
Yeah. So I was like, what this is, it's like in 3D basically, you know what I mean? And like everything looks good. I started getting hooked. I put hours into it. And then remember, I started playing a year later. They announced Ultra Sun and Moon, and I became so irrationally upset that I had just started Sun and Moon that I didn't finish Sun and Moon.
Because I
was
don't
like,
blame you.
I was like, how could you're gonna sell me this game? This game is basically new.
Yeah.
And now in a couple of months,
It was a weird back-to-back release. I don't know why they did that.
Yeah. So I didn't finish Sun and Moon. I loved the time that I spent with it, and it got me back into Pokemon. But once I found out, well, the definitive version is like, it's just around the corner, I just put it down.
No, I don't
I
blame
went
you.
back to my Switch.
Actually, something we didn't mention is like the new mechanics, like Mega Evolutions.
Oh,
Oh,
some of those
yeah.
things are annoying.
You know,
well,
let's talk-
I think I like.
I like
Mega
There's some
Evolution.
that I like, some stuff
Yeah.
I don't like.
well, there's something that I don't like that I feel like they don't innovate right. Like each game has a new gimmick, but it's not a real
It's not a
advancement,
It's not-
real
yeah,
and it's
thing,
not
man.
gonna stick around.
It's a half step.
That's
Yeah.
why I don't care
It's
about
always
them.
a half step, and it usually makes the game easier.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always like, oh, this is sick, but what's the point? Because now I'm
Yeah.
gonna breeze through the game, and I think at this point,
I never use any of that stuff. What is the Z move? The
Oh,
Mega Evolution? The,
Yeah,
what's it when they
yeah,
become
just-
big in the newest
Oh,
one?
Gigantamax.
Yeah,
That's
talk
just
talk about a gimmick. Man.
Yeah.
So right after Gen 6, you go.
You want to
I'm
make
sorry,
your
Gen
Pokemon
7, we
bigger,
go to Gen
now
8.
you can.
Uh-huh.
that's where
The
we're
Gallagher
at now.
region.
Galar.
Galar region.
Gallagher.
Gallagher.
Galar region. And it's pretty,
Watermelon.
and it's
hammer.
it's how do you call it? It's inspired by England. So
Is that true?
yeah.
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 The UK, yeah.
I remember there was like speculation, like the new game will be based on a real geographical location, and I
remember
Well,
that.
that's
too.
how-
Yeah. What did you guys think it was gonna be? What did you hear it was gonna be?
I remember it being England, but
Okay, but did you hear something like? Did you hear the rumor that it would be a geographical location before you knew where? Or
no.
Oh, so it had leaked. It's gonna be based on somewhere in the real world, and I remember a lot of chatter, at least around my circles, was like, "Bro, it's gonna be South American, bro. It's gonna be like a Hispanic
But-
Pokemon."
That would be pretty
didn't-
cool.
Yeah, that didn't
I don't-
happen. though.
we- I
That-
can't-
they
that's
went
how
to
it's been lately, right? Like since Gen 6, they've been based on like real places. Like
I mean, Gen 1 is based off
Oh,
Japan.
yeah.
yeah. Well,
I,
what
but
about
actually, the
that's-
first
what about-
4 gens?
Yeah, but
are
what about, like-
technically Japan.
Yeah, but that's just like where Japanese game made it like
Yeah.
kind of like
But,
Japan.
But like,
that makes
but yeah,
sense.
I think starting Gen 6 like was based off like France.
Yeah, it was
France,
and then we went
Hawaii,
Hawaii.
and now we're in
UK,
London.
UK,
London
London.
time.
Yeah.
The food sucks.
that's what the theme of the game is.
Whoa! The London food is good. What are you talking about?
What London food is good?
Fish and chips?
We
Is that what you're gonna
we
say?
had this
No.
conversation.
We
off
had
this-
episode.
There is
yeah,
this-
we're
there
ready
is
for
this-
this.
cheese on toast. You know what that is?
Uh,
I don't. I
Just
do.
every country's
but
food
it's
ever.
better.
Like it's cheese on toast is better than an arepa. I don't think so.
It's pretty good though.
It's
But yeah,
better
right.
Then a
than
tortilla? Like,
yeah, I don't think.
Yeah.
Is
Like
that better than a
quesadilla?
quesadilla? I don't
No.
think so. It's better than just any
All right. So back to Pokemon.
Back to Pokemon.
Pokemon cheese on toast.
So I think
Oh, name it the net. So
That's
they
the
should
name.
name it.
Yeah, that's the name of the. That's the. Oh, that should be the remake.
Yeah.
When they remake this game. What is this called?
Oh, Sword and Shield.
Yeah, Sword and Shield. It'll be
Sword and
Pokemon
Shield.
cheese on toast.
Oh no.
No, I remember the joke was
And
it
fish
was,
and chips.
Remember when people wanted Pokemon Gun?
Yeah, Pokemon
That's
Gun.
Yeah.
Sword
that
Shield
was pretty
Gun.
funny.
So Nick and I know we both like Pokemon Sword and Shield. Our producer Dan does not.
I hate this.
I don't like Sword
I
and Shield
understand. I think it's
I'm going-
fine,
Yeah, yeah.
but I understand why.
Don't make this a 2-on-1. I'm
Yeah,
firmly
this
on
is
Dan's
2v2,
camp with
bro.
this game.
All right.
I don't. This game was good.
It was.
No.
If
It
you're
was.
complaining that you didn't get all the Pokemon, okay,
Dude,
that I understand.
I haven't wanted that for years.
I
don't
never.
care.
Yeah, I don't want that.
No, I was just bored to death.
Let me.
Yeah,
take
How are
okay.
you guys bored to death? Like I literally play the game every year,
Let me.
and
let me
I don't
take
get
you
bored of
down.
them.
No, it's just the game design as a whole.
game
You know what?
design
It
was
Okay.
kind of
All right, let's
did
let-
feel a bit stale.
Yeah, let's let
It gets
Dan.
stale, but I'm still
And
gonna
it
play
was also like pretty
Nah, nah,
short
nah, nah.
compared to the other games.
That
right?
is true.
Oh, that is a
That
big
is true,
right.
yeah.
And because of the DLC.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of problems.
But
Okay.
it's the story's pretty cool.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, okay. The character development, I think it's.
Why don't
better.
we let? I know
Alright.
Dan has hung back a little bit on
I
this
hate this
conversation.
game.
The reason he's in this episode is to share this with us. So let's
Go ahead,
give him a
share
couple of
with us,
minutes.
share with
Listen,
us.
I remember.
Vent
When this game came out. I had the flu and I was bedridden.
Oh yeah.
It was really bad. The only thing I could do was play Pokemon. I beat this game in 3 days.
Yeah.
I
Not
beat it
even in 2 days because I think it was like it came out on a Friday. You were done by Sunday.
Yeah, I was done by
Yeah.
Sunday. I have never been so sad with a Pokemon game. Everything. I was not satisfied with anything. The game was ugly. The Wild Zone was
Oh, how ugly.
bland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Pokemon for that reason are actually pretty good. I like Corviknight. I like
Okay, let's
Toxtricity.
slow this down. Let's talk about the graphics. I think the expectation.
You guys had high expectations.
yeah,
for
it should have a high
No, no,
expectation.
no.
It's a first
No.
console.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
a console Pokemon for the first time in like.
You guys were
Ever,
expecting
really.
Breath of the Wild.
Why not?
I mean,
This is 2 years.
You
after
know they
Breath
don't.
of the
That's
Okay,
not
okay.
what Niantic does. I
Okay,
mean, sorry, that's not what.
Niantic.
That's not what Game Freak does.
it's
though.
also not what Niantic
It's
does.
also not. But
Okay. There should have been a significant jump.
There should have
Not
been, yeah.
Breath in the Wild, sure, but like I just said, I just finished playing Sun and Moon. It looks like the same game.
because it was made for the 3DS,
Yeah.
and they lied to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said, well, the problem is the head of Game Freak thought the Switch was gonna fail. So
Mhm.
this was a 3DS game.
Wow.
Bet against Nintendo.
Yeah,
that shows
and
where their head
then
is.
they went ahead. They said, you know what? We're not gonna do all the Pokemon because we want to remake all the models.
Yeah.
I'm for that.
Yeah, They said, "Oh, the assets we have to do them from
Yeah.
scratch. That's why you're not gonna get all the Pokemon in the game because Sun and Moon just literally finished having
Yeah.
like everything. They're like, we have to start all over again.
I'm like, that's fantastic.
Liars.
It's the same models.
It's the same model.
It's
Yeah.
the same models. And then they gave us the full decks through DLC.
yeah. So they
They had that ready.
and they didn't develop it after.
No.
They did. It was very clearly already developed, held back
Yeah.
for DLC because they had already moved on to other
No,
projects.
the game was horrible. And on top of this, the game tells you what moves to use.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah. I don't
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you know how I love the game helping me so I can move through it quickly and playing it with my niece. This is so easy. It's too easy for
It's
us.
so easy.
It's too like that's what I'm saying
Oh, yeah.
about
I
bored.
think
It's not about repetition. It's not about
Yeah.
still being Pokemon. It's about like, am I even playing this game anymore?
Yeah, at this point,
the
like,
game is playing me.
I'm with the flu. I'm here. I'm just clicking buttons, man. I'm
Mhm.
not even thinking about what moves I have to make
Yeah,
anymore.
I thought at some point it was gonna be like, oh, the Pokemon Master will remember this, because it was basically a
Yeah.
point and click
I
adventure.
felt like I was playing a Telltale
yeah,
game, bro.
a tall tale.
Telltale, whatever.
Telltale.
Telltale.
Bro, I have
Rest
so
in
many
peace.
problems.
I
with
enjoyed
that
this
game.
game. I liked the story in it.
But even then, the story
It
was
was different.
yeah, but it wasn't great.
You know, and that's what I
But-
think we talked about, like Black
I'm
and
com-
White. Again, a game I never played.
I'm
but it was like
comparing it
Space
to-
Alien Secret Agents. I don't know how different I want.
That's a Sun and
Sun and Moon?
Sun and Moon,
Oh, so I guess
Sun
I did
and
play
Moon.
that game. Okay. I don't know how different I want Pokemon to
Listen,
be.
man, this one's about like a CEO. It's like Jeff Bezos, and then
Yeah.
he like loses control.
It's just Pokemon
not only that,
Prime.
but the thing with the champion as well, Leon and
Oh man, that wasn't even good.
No, yeah, because it was like, okay, the concept was good. I was like, Leon, I'm all in.
Yeah.
And it's like, doesn't really...
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't even like my best friend / rival.
oh, he's
Bro,
the worst.
I'll be honest with you, baby.
No one likes Hop.
Like I feel like everyone like hates Hop, but I
Yeah.
feel like he's like one of the most developed rivals I know.
I
Pretty
agree
weird.
with
I
Yeah.
agree with
Yeah.
that.
But I hate that
Yeah.
I technically beat him so bad he went and become a researcher, bro. Like that's so
But
sad.
that's what happens to other games.
I know, bro.
We ruined that kid's life.
We ruined his life.
That's it. We're the baby face. Okay, honestly, this game is the WWE of Pokemon Go. That's what it is. The storytelling is just like all over the place.
And then like, oh, bro, it's just I have so many problems. And then you could do cutscenes for this game because it's on a home console.
Yes.
But the voice, like the mouths moving without voice, without sound, it's so weird. It's like off-putting to me.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
like you could have done voice acting. You could have done a different style. You could have tried something, but they didn't.
I mean, they could even cut to a cartoon, which would cost
That's
nothing,
what
just
I'm
like an
saying.
FMV video. Like,
Just give me a cutscene, like a genuine
the
cutscene.
Sega CD did it better. Like,
I don't understand where their heads were at with this game, man.
it was like I thought a step back from Let's Go and way too close to Sun and Moon, where there needed to be a step forward.
Oh,
This is
100%.
ridiculous at this point.
And it's on the Switch.
Yeah.
This is a home console.
Yeah, even half of Breath of the Wild is significantly better than this.
Yeah.
In the sense like what they
No,
accomplished.
no.
A quarter of Breath of the
Yeah,
Wild is better than
A
this.
quarter.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna fight me on that.
I would go even less, man. I would say
Yeah.
like 5% of
I'm
Breath of the
just
Wild.
saying from a technical standpoint,
Yeah.
what they do in Breath of the Wild, you don't even need a quarter of that to be a step forward from this game.
And Breath of the Wild is beautiful without being too graphically intensive.
Okay, I heard the rumor, I'm sure you guys heard about this, Pokemon Stars, right? You heard about this game,
I actually
right?
haven't.
No? Oh, okay. So before they announced Sword and Shield, I heard the game for the Switch was going to be Pokemon Stars, and it was going to be a console version of Sun and Moon. It was going to be the ultimate Sun and Moon thing. That if this game would have been that would have made sense.
That would have made
That
Because it
would've
would,
been
yeah, if they would have made that game, if they would have just re-released a Super Sun and Moon, it would have been better than this game. Because this was a new gen, like without any development stepping into a new gen.
I'm just like, think about
Just
all
designing a bunch of dumb Pokemon nobody
Dude,
cares about.
the Switch had hard hitters, man. You had Odyssey, you had Breath of the Wild, legendary games.
That's the other thing too. It's like almost every like big Nintendo franchise
Was-
had
yes.
a instant classic.
They were going full send,
Yeah.
and Game Freak did nothing.
But they
They-
don't do
Getting a
anything.
Mario
They
Kart
don't do
remake was
anything.
better than this.
But they don't do anything. But yet they have the highest grossing numbers of any franchise in the world.
Yeah.
How does that make sense? Why is the bar so
It's
low?
because
for them?
Nick and I
just keep buying every
version.
version.
Just 12 billion between the two of you.
Yeah.
It's
What
ridiculous.
are some of those numbers which is the reason if anyone's wondering why is it that we're talking about Pokemon
What's
for
so
an entire
important
hour
about
and a half?
what's so important about Pokemon?
Pokemon
Money.
in total has made $109 billion from its start.
That's insane.
Compared, the MCU has made $36 billion.
Oh my god.
Wow.
It blows it out of the water.
Yeah.
And yet
And we dedicated a whole month to talk about that.
Yeah.
and yet the bar is so low, and people defend Pokemon or Game Freak with their everything. It makes no sense to me. I think they need to be held to a higher standard.
Yeah, they need to be held accountable.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
get
Held
the
accountable.
Game Freak executives here in
No,
this room
Yeah.
right now.
I just don't
They're
understand.
listening right now.
Game Freak, if you're listening, we're coming for you.
Miyamoto, tell him
Oh.
that we're gonna go for them.
Man, I just
Send the Nintendo spies.
I'm disappointed, man. I'm
Yeah, you know
disappointed.
what? And I think it also like sullies the good name of Nintendo. Nintendo has its own problems, okay? But I also feel like Nintendo takes a lot of hits for Pokemon decisions that are like completely out of Nintendo's control.
Yeah.
Because I think now it's like the Pokemon Company, and that's split three ways
Mhm.
between Nintendo, something called Creatures, and Game Freak,
Yeah.
and together they make the Pokemon Company. But I know,
And which one is a shill for the Chinese government? I'm just kidding. Let's not get political.
and I
Continue.
know not all 109 billion have gone to Game Freak. Like I know
Yeah.
that's split accordingly, but it's still so much money that it just doesn't make sense to me. That these games are lazy
mean,
and they're uninspired.
we
I
have
mean,
better-
majority of that money comes from merchandise.
Yeah, absolutely. But still, 24 billion itself has been from video games itself.
Okay, but we just talked about like how this anime sold the game. I think it's almost become like the other way around.
Yeah, now it's
Yeah.
the other way.
This game
Yeah.
is just a commercial to sell clothes,
Yeah.
Pokemon Go,
Yeah, absolutely.
the anime movies that like come out every year apparently.
And I'm assuming that's why quality for the games has gone down, because it's all about merchandise.
Merchandise,
They
yeah.
want to sell merchandise. And to do this, you gotta have a game every year.
Yeah.
So it gets lazy, it gets
Yeah.
uninspired.
But I'm still gonna be there buying it.
And that's the thing. I'm part of the problem
I'm
too
part-
because I'm probably gonna buy it.
I have accepted the problem, and just enjoy it now.
Well, we were just in like Gen 8, right? Sword and Shield, which I don't know if we want to continue that before we move on. Any other
it's
thoughts?
Which Pokemon did you pick?
The soccer player rabbit.
I did
Same.
not. Yeah, I did not
I
like
picked
the
that
humanoid
one.
Pokemon.
But I kinda-
That's how you know they're getting lazy.
I kind of liked I didn't really like. I mean, the only like decent looking one was the grass one, like the final evolution.
Grookey?
Yeah.
That's the one I got.
But I didn't pick it anyway because I just like fire types. But I kind of grew on the water one. It's kind of like a James. He's like a
yeah.
James Bond
Whoa.
sniper guy. That's
Yeah,
pretty
but
cool.
I
But
don't know. It's
they still look
describing
pretty-
a Pokemon
yeah.
like that.
There's only one
Uh,
good thing that came from jumping to the Switch, which actually was in Let's Go. So, so again, you can't give it credit for
Yeah,
this.
you can't give it credit.
But we finally have different saves for different profiles. So one game can give you like. So what I would do is I would
What?
yeah
I
because
didn't
you
know
can
you
sign
could.
in with a different
yeah.
profile, so you can create a new
Oh,
game.
right.
Oh,
yeah.
I was about to say.
Because we didn't have profiles before on handhelds.
yeah.
You know what
I
I
was
mean?
like, maybe because I never
No,
turn
so-
off the Switch, I should put it on sleep mode. That
I
I
was
don't
like,
realize that.
maybe
there's-
because I'm alone.
Yeah, because you don't have anyone else in your family, so there's no other profiles.
Because I choose you guys over girls.
Well, again,
I choose
you're
you.
doing it wrong. Okay. Anyways, but even then, I have my account side loaded on your Switch so that I could trade with myself. So I'll be like, my wife on my Switch, my account on your Switch, and then we like just send Pokemon back and forth. I started this game like 6 times, and I have like all the starters and all the like early on things.
There's no need to start it 6 times.
Yeah, no, I know it was no. There is a need because it's like me and my wife, we both have both starters, so I did do it. Like we
I
did
guess
it
it
between
is,
the two
yeah,
of us.
because you can just wait till you get a Ditto and go to the nursery.
Nah, not even, man. You can just find them. They it's super early on.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait,
I didn't make it that far.
Yeah, because I came and told you how bad.
Yeah,
it was.
well, that is what happened too. Okay, but Danny didn't influence me per se, but he came and he was like, "This game is horrible, it's terrible." I was like, "I'm having fun with it. I think it's okay." I redid it the beginning 3 times, and then over time I was like, "No, yes, no, I see it." And he didn't go on a rant about it because like he still let me enjoy the game. But I started seeing it's like the Matrix. Like when I saw the 1s and 0s, and I'm like, "Oh no, this isn't real." So like I didn't get super far into this game. One day I will because I know it's super duper short. But I was like,
Just can't do
I think I'm like 10 or 13 hours into it or something like that.
it. The problem is the difficulty.
Yeah.
It's just
Too
not
easy.
a challenge.
And
It's
yeah,
not
There's
challenging.
there's ways to fix that.
And it's what you said about finding them all at the beginning, though. I didn't know that because I came in like old school Pokemon fan. That's the other thing. That's another making it too easy. Like your team is supposed to be. What's the point of choosing a starter
I know.
if you're gonna get them all very
you
soon?
find them so.
That doesn't make sense. So that put me off right away because I'm a good Pokemon boy. I have to cheat my way to these starters because you're not gonna get another chance at it. No, they're right there. The choice means
That's
nothing.
what Pokemon Let's Go does, though.
wait. You
Yeah,
guys-
because I already went through that
Yeah, but it
experience
doesn't-
again.
this is not a
because
new
it's-
gen.
Because it's yellow, basically. Because it's like Gen 1 again, it can forego all of that
Yeah.
stuff. Make Gen 1 as easy as possible because at this point, I'm regurgitating.
Everyone has played.
Yeah,
this
everyone has
game.
played. And if you haven't, you really should go back and play
Yeah.
the original.
It doesn't matter. It's different. This is a new story.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be like. It
Also-
shouldn't be this easy.
yeah. Also, enough time has passed from Gen 1 because yellow is like right after red,
Yeah,
blue,
exactly.
and green. So it's like it really hasn't been made for decades.
No.
you know?
Red and
But
fire,
that's
red
not
and
yellow.
leaf green.
That's not
But
yellow.
it's not yellow. But it's not yellow.
You don't
So
start
this
with
is-
Pikachu.
Exactly. So this is like the yellow
Oh, okay.
remake. Plus, I love Eevee too. How adorable is Eevee?
Yeah, Eevee was great.
Okay, so any more defense for Sword and Shield?
I can talk about the difficulty. I can keep
I
going.
mean,
For what it is, like, I already know that
Yeah.
Game Freak sucks. The fact that they gave me this, I'm like, oh, you know what? This wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
My expectations for every Pokemon game are down. Or
Okay,
low.
it's almost
And every time I play it, I'm like, hey, I'm enjoying this.
it's almost like you're thanking them that the experience was only like about 30 hours. Oh, I'm done with it. Thank God.
So a big problem for me with this game is I went and played the competitor. I played Temtem. Temtem is a super small indie game.
Mhm.
It's like Pokemon,
Right.
but it's difficult. It's like strategic, and they fix this by making every battle a double battle. So you can never just be on the defensive.
Oh,
You
okay.
always have to be strategizing who to put in, who to take out.
Wow.
It's a different game.
Mhm.
It's completely different. Even then, like added on to that, it's an MMO. So everyone's always in your world. It's huge. It's fantastic. I love it.
Speaking of which, I'm going to say this on the air. Remind me to hand you Nino Kuni on the way out of here.
I will do that because I remembered on the drive here that I didn't pick up. But yeah, it's fantastic. And it made me realize, like, this is a small indie studio. And they fixed the problem.
Actually, fans fix.
Yeah.
Fans
Yeah,
fix
fans
the
fix the
problem.
That's another conversation to have.
There's a lot of how do I explain this? They make emulations of Pokemon
Oh, yeah.
of red. I mean, green and red. For example, there's one of them. I believe I'm not sure what it's called, but it's the one I wanted to play, where you start off as a character from like you're part of Team Rocket, and your goal is to advance in the game.
Yeah.
Wait. How old is this?
This is like 2-3 years ago, maybe.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's older than that.
Could be. Well, you start off as
I vaguely remember starting this game.
you start off as a Team Rocket member, and what you do is you steal Pokemons from other people, and then you
Yeah.
add them to your
Yeah.
party.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, fans
I
know
may
how to
have
make the.
emulated this. Continue.
Well, you have to.
You have to.
Exactly.
Yeah. Fans know how to make a
Yeah.
better game than Game Freak.
Yeah.
I mean, because fans are the ones consuming their product. They obviously don't play what they make.
And they don't listen to the fans. That's a problem. Because at the end of the day, we're like, armchair quarterbacks. Like, if I was the game developer, I mean, I obviously don't have $25 million or whatever.
I can't make a game.
But you have to listen to the fans.
Yeah.
Like, if you make a game and we're like, we hate this, we didn't like this, we want more of this, you can't just turn around and be like, oh, do the exact same stuff again? Okay, cool.
Do the opposite.
Yeah, make it worse. Okay.
I mean, another thing that fans do is it's like self-imposed rules, like a Nuzlocke.
Yes.
I don't know if
Nuzlocke,
you guys.
Oh, you explained
Yeah.
this to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Nuzlocke.
Nicholas did.
I'm
this.
actually like doing a shiny only run, and it's
Ooh.
I've got the starter in like 2 days. Like, yo, that's awesome. I've been running around in grass in the forest for 14 days now.
Okay.
I'm at 8,000 plus encounters. Please help me.
Okay, I'm going to be completely honest. I saw the title of the stream. I went in and just saw him running through grass. And I'm like, what is this? Like, is he getting paid to just run this game? Is he using this to mine Bitcoin? I don't know what's going on because he's not playing the game.
I mean,
I'm sorry,
mean,
I
I guess I
irrationally
should.
upset about that.
I guess I should explain a Nuzlocke, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, what a Nuzlocke is, it's self-imposed rules. When some people emulate it, they randomize all the encounters.
Mm-hmm.
But the gist of it is, the first thing you find in a route, you have to catch.
Okay.
And then going from there, if your Pokemon faints, it's dead forever. You have to discard it.
Mhm.
It's gone. There's other rules that you can kind of mix and match. It's not really like solidified,
Mm-hmm.
but it's self-imposed rules to get that challenge that Game Freak doesn't give us.
Why is it called the Nuzlocke?
Because it's Nuzleaf, I think.
That's Nuzleaf, yeah.
Nuzleaf, but I don't remember why the creator chose Nuzleaf as the face of the run.
Yeah. The closest thing that I've experienced with this is like knives only in Call of Duty.
those games are. Those,
Yeah, those
that
are
was
great.
actually really fun. I was really good at that.
Yeah, man. It's just a Nuzlocke. Like Game Freak could just make this an option for players to have.
Yeah.
You can. Why not be able to turn on Nuzlocke rules
Yeah.
in your game?
It's literally just a menu. Like that would be all.
Yeah. And that would fix a lot of problems.
So they won't do that.
But they won't do that. We're never gonna see that.
Yeah.
And even then, something that people liked was the battle tower, and that's long gone.
Yeah.
What's that?
So basically, you would go like tiers, like fighting trainers, and it would actually be
Get harder,
difficult.
yeah.
Mm,
But that's gone. It's not even in the remake,
really?
which is
So they removed them.
yeah, they removed it.
Wow.
I don't know why they hate their fans.
It's okay. Here's my $60.
They're freaks.
Okay, so that brings us to Diamond and Shining Pearl. I know they're remakes, but they're what we're watching. I mean, what some of us are playing now. You're streaming
I
it.
don't think I'm ever gonna finish it with the shiny only.
All right, Nick's streaming. Just the guttural laugh that the Nick is streaming it. Link is playing it. Me and Dan did not buy this game.
No, I bought it.
He got it.
You bought it?
Yeah, I'm shiny hunting it.
Oh, so you are Shining.
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Are
know
you-
it's gonna be too easy, so I was like,
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Honestly,
I said,
like
Go
I've
ahead.
heard like that, like especially like an Elite Four champion, like it's actually like really hard. Like
It's
they
really
actually
hard.
give the Elite Four people like competitive items.
that's what I like to hear.
yeah.
I mean, when I get there,
Yeah,
because
I'm gonna buy this game when it's on sale in 2047. All right, but
Yeah.
I decided like after Sword and Shield, I really didn't like it. I'm not getting the DLC. I'll think about getting the new game. It came. I have a lot of games in my backlog. I have way too many games that I'm spending too much time on that I shouldn't. So
Fortnite.
stop adding it.
Metroid Dread.
Yes. Well, I'm waiting for Link to finish Metroid Dread so that I can start Metroid Dread. But anyways, so I have a lot of games. I'm not gonna get this game. I'll get to it eventually. But I said I'm gonna stop giving Game Freak my money because I generally feel like maybe if there's like a Let's Go, the other one that you said, yeah, maybe I'll get that. But what I see here is that we all want like different things from Pokemon. So there's like two kinds of player base. We're split on on those last two, Let's Go and Sword and Shield. But none of us are fully happy. You guys that are playing Diamond and Pearl, really quick, is it worth it? Is it good? Sell it to me.
Can I mention something real quick?
Sure.
Diamond, these remakes are actually not made by
Yeah,
Game
Game
Freak.
Freak.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why they're good.
So you're
That's
saying
why
they're good
decent.
then?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I haven't
They're
played
not
much of it.
good.
I've only,
Yeah,
I
that's
only
why-
beat the first
they're
gym, but
better.
Oh, they're better. Okay.
I wouldn't say they're better.
Well, Let's Go was made by like a pocket team in Game Freak. It's
You're
not-
saying you like Sword and Shield better than this game? Link is just confused there.
This game's too easy as well.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Easier than
Um,
Sword and Shield?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
It doesn't
Well, I
tell you
don't
what
know, I
moves to
don't know
do?
It doesn't tell me what move to do,
Okay,
but it's
well,
like
that's a step in the right
it
direction.
still does
well,
XP share and
Oh yeah, it's still
Yeah, but
permanently
that's-
on.
yeah.
no,
That's a
it,
big
no,
problem.
it has
though.
the super effective like thing where it tells you like, oh, this
it
move
has a
is
super
su-
effective
yeah.
thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
then never mind.
Yeah. I mean, okay, here's the problem. These games might as well be a Let's Go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they're not as
But
pretty.
they're not as pretty. They're
Yeah.
not as like I
Yeah.
don't know. man.
They're not as charming,
Yeah,
I
not at
think
all.
I would say.
I'm enjoying it, but I stopped playing it and now I'm playing a new game.
That doesn't sound like what a Pokemon game experience should be.
Should be, man.
Have you heard of all like the glitches that came out with it?
I
No.
did
Yeah,
see
it's pretty
that.
cool.
Go tell.
It's not like it's game breaking, but like it's not something that will like affect like your normal gameplay if you like just like play the game normally. It's like you have to actually like do like complicated stuff, but like they found like ways to like it's like a menu glitch and you're like able to like skip areas like walk through like
Yeah.
whole areas. You can someone beat the game in like 17 minutes, I think, just skipping the champion.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
I
also-
might check out this game. That
And
gets
also
recommended to
a
me.
really controversial one too. There's like an easy Pokemon duplication glitch, just like
Oh.
mass
Yeah,
duplicate,
Lumberjack helped me out.
and
with that. He gave me
then you would just
Oh.
duplicate like shinies, like legendaries,
Oh, no,
Lum-
that's-
Come on,
Lumberjacks.
and you could even manipulate like Pokemon to become shiny. It's
Yeah.
like so.
Okay, here's another problem. They have this game on lockdown in regards to like trading and all this other stuff, but then the game is glitched. The game is glitched, so you can just do it anyway. So the game is so restricted, but it's broken.
Yeah. You know, I saw one glitch that they did. They found a new glitch in Diamond and Pearl, the
Mhm.
remake, but it also works in the old games.
Really?
So what does that mean? Is the code the exact same? Like I don't.
Oh
I
man.
really don't understand like how that even
Yeah,
works.
how could that even?
How
Because you're
could that
building
even
it from
work?
the
Yeah,
ground
you're-
up.
Maybe they're
That's
just
what we
staying
thought.
true.
Yeah.
They're being a true remake, just including all the glitch.
Maybe they remade the glitch.
I,
It was
I
there
really
all
don't
along.
understand.
The
Yeah.
real glitch was inside us the whole time. So what's on the horizon?
Arceus.
Oh,
I'm excited for that.
and it's like it's made by Game Freak, right?
Cautiously optimistic.
Oh, also, can I just before we talk about Arceus, I just realized because you can use different profiles. I'm actually waiting for one of you guys to be done with it. You can just lend me Diamond and Pearl, and then I don't have to buy the game.
True.
So, heads up, whenever you're done, please lend me Pokemon. All right, Legends, Arceus, go.
Arceus.
It's made by Game Freak, right?
Yeah.
That's already a red flag.
Okay, so I'm not gonna. Get
So,
it.
but like, has Game Freak ever like made like a game that's like outside
Like
like,
a
the
spin-off,
normal like like Pokemon like formula?
No, they haven't.
So this is like the first
who
one.
made like
then?
Battle Coliseum? Or
Yeah,
like,
yeah. They never made.
what was
any
that
of
RPG? The Dark something.
Something DX, Pokemon
Yeah,
DX.
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know who made those, but it wasn't Game Freak.
Yeah, I remember enjoying all those games. They
Me
probably
too.
weren't
And
good, but I
Pokemon
liked them
Tournament.
at the time.
I liked them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like them too.
Okay.
So Arceus is a step in a new direction. Whether it's good or bad is
I'm excited for it.
Okay. Why are you excited?
The fact that now your starters aren't just starters from one gen; it's a different gen.
Ooh, I do like that too.
I like that. You starting off with
Dude, like-
Piplup,
no.
Piplup.
No, not Piplup. Like for Arceus, it's
It is Piplup.
It's
for Arceus.
Yeah, Piplup.
Yeah, man. Come on.
No,
It's
no, 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 no.
Piplup, Decidueye.
and
I don't know.
Cyndaquil.
It's
And
Cyndaquil, Rowlet, and Oshawott.
Is it Oshawott?
Yeah.
Yeah, Oshawott. You're right.
Yeah.
All right, breaking news right here. It is
It's
Oshawott, guys. So if you
I
had Piplup in your mind for your first playthrough, it is Oshawott.
I could have
I'm
sworn it was
sorry.
Piplup.
I
do
just
think
jumped.
that I do think that Oshawott's cooler though.
Yeah, I just jumped on the train.
Yeah.
I have no idea what this game's gonna be about.
It takes place in the
Oh.
past, like thousands of years
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
So it's like
Breath of the Wild.
It's basically sort of like Breath of the Wild Pokemon in a way.
That's
No,
a.
no, no, no.
very a smaller version of Breath of the Wild.
I mean,
I feel like that is how they're pitching it. Or
that's how they're pitching.
they're not even pitching it. They're inferring it to trick us into believing that
Yes.
without saying it.
But I'll tell you what, I haven't seen anything that is as nice as Breath of the Wild yet. It still looks a little dry,
Yeah,
a
it's still
little
dry,
bland.
Yeah.
They're changing up the formula, which I appreciate.
How so? What's supposedly different about this
They're
game?
changing the way you catch Pokemon again. So you like actually have to like sneak up on them.
Yeah.
It's overworld encounters again. It's
Okay.
being
You can
brought back.
battle the Pokemon. Huh?
Yeah,
the
you can.
shinies in the overworld.
We don't know
I
yet.
don't think we know
Okay.
yet.
Yeah, we don't know yet, but I hope they are. But basically, you sneak up on them. You have the option to either catch them or battle them, like the normal thing. But it all happens in the overworld. It's not like you're taken to a battle screen. Anymore,
Yeah.
which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, like it. I like different stuff, but we'll see. How it plays out in the end.
I mean, we're gonna give it our money, right?
Oh yeah, of course. Bro.
No,
Um,
I'm not.
You're gonna
going
give
to.
it $60.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give it $60.
All hail,
I'm
all
gonna
hail
wait.
Game Freak.
I'm gonna wait on this one.
Oh, I remember. Okay, so you said you were gonna wait on Diamond and Pearl on Brilliant and Shining. You were gonna wait for reviews. You were gonna wait from feedback. What made you finally make the purchase?
I saw some fans say it was good. I wanted like a new Pokemon to play on my Switch. I was just gonna shiny hunt it, self-imposed rules just to
Right.
make it.
How many hours
entertaining
into
for
it
us.
are you?
Well, I'm 700 resets in. I don't know about hours,
Okay.
and I haven't even
Uh,
technically started the game.
Oh, because that's like you can get a shiny starter.
Yeah,
Wow.
but like people have spent like weeks,
You can go up to
months,
4,000,
unless you're me,
8,000.
who
How
got
long did it
very
take you?
lucky, like 2 days.
Oh, he got really lucky.
Yeah.
But now I'm getting super unlucky with like the wild random encounters.
What are
now.
you hunting next?
Just something from the forest because
Is
like
anything?
because like you team up with someone, so it's all double battles, so your odds are double.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's smart. That's smart.
No, that is a good idea.
How long did it take you to get shiny Mewtwo and Let's Go?
I think it was like around 400 resets, 300,
Man,
but
you're lucky.
but I had the shiny charm, so that makes a difference.
For
Okay.
context, the odds now are 1 in 4,000.
Oh yeah, I think ever since Gen was it 6? Yeah,
Yeah,
they,
Gen 6.
they have the odds.
And it's still like
Maybe
super
odds
rare.
be ever in your favor. Okay, so what does Arceus need to succeed? What would be a failure for you?
Don't. I mean, just turn off experience here.
I just if the game, I can look.
It
Past,
takes place in the past, so maybe they don't even have experience here.
I thought he was gonna say maybe they don't even have experience.
it looks good on paper. It just has to be a challenge because I can look past anything if it's a challenge. Because I want to strategize. I want to have a connection to these Pokemon.
So if this game looks like the current games and is challenging, that's a win for you.
I'll be a little disappointed, but it'll be a win for me.
What about you guys? What are you looking for the next Pokemon?
Challenge.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, challenge, like that's like the one, like that's like the main reason why I didn't like Gen 6, because it was like way too easy. I even dropped the game after like 3 hours and then come back to like a year.
I don't know, man. I just feel like I'm nervous about it. I'm nervous about this new game because if they don't nail it here, I don't know what they're gonna do. I know they're gonna
Okay,
keep
what
going.
does that mean? You don't know what they're gonna do. They're gonna
It's
keep
like-
making games. People are gonna keep buying them.
People are gonna keep buying them, but I don't know what I'm gonna
You
do.
don't know what you're
I don't know
gonna
what I'm gonna do. That's the right.
Not
Wait a
buy the
sec.
game.
Yeah, but no
Name.
Pokemon in my life, man.
I mean, I
Yeah,
can
dude.
just lend you the game, because I'm gonna buy him.
I don't know.
I think sometimes our relationships
Or
with these properties. Go ahead.
emulate. No, just
You
don't,
can't
don't,
say-
don't,
you
don't,
can't
do
say
not,
that.
do not,
Do that.
don't
Do
emulate
that.
on like,
Definitely.
yeah,
I
no,
mean,
no,
No,
no.
okay.
I don't understand why you wouldn't want to emulate. Like, you're mad at Game Freak. This is you, like...
No, but we can't condone that.
No. Okay, but let's talk. You said emulating a game that's off the market that you
Yes,
can't
yes.
find. That's being like bootlegged.
That's
anyways. Okay, but
Well, that's
I
not
heard
okay,
that
but-
Metroid Dread did terribly because
Oh,
of emulation.
Wait, really?
You can't
Yeah.
remind me of
Like,
Metroid
because
Dread. It's such a
I
great
don't-
game. It
I
might
heard
be my
Metroid
game
Dread
of the year.
leaked and was instantaneously like downloaded like in the
Yeah.
millions, and that's you might not get another Metroid Dread
Oh, no,
because of that.
You evil people.
Yeah, I don't
Oh, wow.
condone emulating games
Yeah.
that are currently released.
I agree.
No.
Listen, this is and I think when you're younger, I went through this experience. When you're younger, like you pirate everything because you're broke and you want to consume everything, and sometimes you pirate stuff you don't even consume. Like I had like Wii games like Burn to This that I never even played. But I think when you get older, or at least when I got older, I realized like something has to be worth the money for me to spend it on, and if I can't, then I just don't play it, watch
Yeah,
it,
absolutely.
do it. Like if it's not worth the money, then it's not worth the time. And just because I can doesn't mean I should. And I think that we need to give back to creators. We need
I
to
agree.
give back
I
to
agree.
if you're making a game now, that game should be purchased. And if that game isn't worth purchasing, it's not worth wasting your time on it. You know, because oftentimes our lives, they're controlled by institutions, and our relationships with that, they differ. Link, you want to add something?
All right, guys. So really quick, before we wrap up, what are your favorite Pokemons? We can go from each gen, or if you have one in general, that's your favorite. What are your favorite Pokemons? How do you guys want to
Let's do overall and then we'll go.
overall? Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause I do have an overall one.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. All right. I'll start it off. For me, my favorite overall, Vaporeon.
I wonder why.
No. Continue. No context.
Yeah, no context to that.
All
I
right.
love them because like water moves just heal them up. I think
Okay.
that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
All right. That's awesome.
All right. My favorite Pokemon is Cyndaquil, or like the whole line, like Cyndaquil, Quilava, Typhlosion. Yeah,
I
because
feel like that one is slept on.
Mm-hmm.
It
I feel like
is,
a lot
yeah.
of people don't appreciate that line.
It's also coming in. It's one of the starters in Arceus
Arceus.
too. So yeah, you know what I'm picking.
Oh,
Um,
torn.
It's not. I'm picking Piplup.
I'm torn. I really don't
Yeah.
know who to pick there. 'cause
I
all
think
of
the
them
main
starters are-
Oh my
reason
God.
it's my favorite though is because like that was like Soul Silver was my first Pokemon game, and the first Pokemon I ever chose was Cyndaquil,
Oh.
and it's forever been in mi corazón.
For those of you who don't speak Spanish, that means
in my courtesan.
in
my
my
courtesan. In my heart. That's what he said. My favorite is Jirachi. I love Jirachi. It's the cutest
Really?
Pokemon. I love Jirachi.
Wow.
And I really can't explain why. I just love his design.
Mm.
I think it's so clean. It's so nice. I love Jirachi.
That's so surprising to me because I can't even picture what Jirachi is right now.
I'm
Anyways,
gonna Google Jirachi while
He's just been
Uh,
sending me pictures like during this whole
So you
episode.
know that one Pokemon Go mission where you like get the band back. I don't know what it was,
The
but
mulatto one,
no, I don't know.
melodic.
melodic one,
No.
Melota.
Don't they have like little?
Melodic?
I'm so confused. I don't know. I don't remember.
Good
All right.
story.
What about you? George? What about you?
What about you,
George?
George?
Okay, my favorite Pokemon. This is gonna be weird. Porygon.
Ooh,
I feel like I know
that's
why.
controversial.
Okay.
I feel like I know why. I think
Well,
I
okay,
might know the
why? Why do
backstory.
you think?
I remember when you're like back in the day, Pokemon Go, when like Porygon was like super rare,
Mhm.
and like that was like the one, that was like the last one you needed, right?
Yeah.
In the decks for 151.
Yeah.
And you even had like this Pokemon like Porygon Pokemon card in your like
Well, so
pocket
actually,
for
a
good luck.
student knew that I had just been searching for months for this Porygon and haven't been able to appear it. So he gave me as a gift a Pokemon card, like a holographic Porygon
That's
card.
awesome.
And he's like, you have to carry this with you everywhere you go until you catch Porygon.
Mm.
So I had it in my wallet. Like sometimes when you open your wallet, you know, you have your kids or you have your wife. And I
You
had
have
Porygon. I had a
holographic
holographic Porygon card until the Valentine's Day event where they finally spawned for about an hour. And I got one at a Lear and I was able to retire that Pokemon Go card. So I have a very special journey with Porygon. I always liked him growing up, but the fact that he was like my mythic for that like first year or two of Pokemon
Yeah.
Go.
The only thing I associate Porygon with
I know what you're
is
gonna say.
everyone having a seizure during that episode. That's why I was like, oh, wow, Porygon.
You know what? And that actually like tripped the memory back because that was such a meme like growing up that it was like I love Porygon, that episode that like killed kids and stuff.
Yeah, episode is horrible.
Yeah.
Oh no.
All right, so should we move on from then to
Gen Fire Round?
yeah?
Oh, that took long.
ASAP. That's why I said Fire Round.
speed it up.
Yeah. All right, so
Just the name,
Alright.
no context?
I mean, do we start off in Gen 1?
Yeah.
All right, Gen 1,
Squirtle.
Snorlax.
Charmander.
Bulbasaur.
Okay, Gen 2,
Cyndaquil.
Ampharos.
Heracross.
Didn't play it.
I feel like we're going to get a lot of those from you.
Gen 3,
Torchic.
Flygon.
let me look down the list because I don't remember its name.
It's not that easy.
I prepared.
I didn't know this was happening. So
Gen 3 is hard.
I
Whatever.
tried-
No. Mudkip. I'm done. Mudkip.
Okay.
I forgot. Gen 4. Ooh, you got me there.
I tried to play every Pokemon game before this episode, but I only had a week.
Sometimes that's enough.
Oh.
But
All right, Gen 4. Garchomp.
Rotom.
Right. Oh, Lucario.
Link started this game. Just wanted to point out.
I didn't think we were gonna go so fast. Oh, actually, no. I take that back. Not Lucario. Sneevil.
Lucario.
Lucario.
Gen 5.
Chandelure.
I knew you were going to say Amoga.
Gen 5. Give me a second, guys.
Oh wow.
He's so unprepared.
You.
Oh, Momo's
Oh.
one of my friend's favorite Pokemon too.
Is this the one that has the Lucha? The.
Nah, Lucha's the next
No.
one.
Okay, cool. Now I know my next one. But I'm gonna say Suck. Swak. Swak.
What did you just call me?
Gen 6. Halucha for me.
Aegislash.
Noivern.
Okay.
What are we talking about?
Gen 7.
Decidueye.
Beware.
Oh, same. Well, Rowlet.
Yeah.
Gen 8.
I, knew
Dragapult.
you, I somehow
Is that the
have
one
your
with
entire
the
list
apple,
written.
the apple one?
That's like the ghost dragon. That's like
Yeah, he
modeled.
has
It looks
little-
like a jet.
Like a stealth
Oh.
fighter.
Like a stealth.
Oh,
yeah.
no. My favorite one is Galarian Epona. Galarian Ponita. Galarian
Epona.
Ponita. He's so cute. He's
This
like a
game
unicorn.
sucks.
Yeah, it really does. But Corviknight is a fantastic
Corviknight's also a
bird
good one, yeah.
Pokemon.
And that's pretty much it.
And
Those
that's-
are all
that wraps it
our
up.
favorite Pokemon.
What about you, George?
I just shared them. It was Bulbasaur. Didn't play it. Lucario. And this game sucks.
I'll accept that list.
Okay. Any final thoughts regarding Pokemon as a franchise?
We'll see.
I love Pokemon. I really do. It's the closest thing I have to being an athlete.
In what way?
Hey, training,
Battling, going to the Olympics and
Yeah.
destroying everyone.
It's the most athletic experience Link
Yeah.
has had. That's
Yeah.
you play spike ball.
Those are the only
That's true.
Those are the only gyms I go to.
Okay, so it seems like we all have very specific relationships with Pokemon, and it means a lot of different things to a lot of people. We're in a place where we might not be happy with every direction that it's taken, but some of these things are kind of out of our control. Our relationship with Pokemon is a relationship not dissimilar to the other structures that our lives operate under, whether it be governments, companies, corporations, our employers, halfway across the world, overseas. Their decisions shape the course that our lives take. And as we continue to embark on this journey, we continue to chase that dragon, look for that next fix. We know that it will continue to happen, but what will it mean to us? Some of us will fall to the wayside along the journey. Some of us will keep pushing forward no matter what challenges we endure. But as Pokemon grows and evolves and moves from one generation to the next, so do we. And we hope that the world of Pokemon that we leave behind is a better one than the one that we found it. But until then, we continue to search. So remember to keep on searching and catch 'em all.